century, immortal all-in type thing. So, it's been good, but of course, like I'm saying that as if it's like the perfect thing and every Zerg should do it. No, and absolutely not the case, because it doesn't get you an upgrade, it doesn't get you a Hydra, it doesn't give you the complexity of a Baneling based army, that type of stuff, right? It usually has a later 4th and a later 70 drone count, but in the context of who she faces in the Banshee tournament, it usually works out really well because she is the person to beat, right? She has the target on her back. So either she's getting all in and she just like is like, "Ha, I'm never gonna get killed by it because I already have an army," or she gets to kind of end the game swiftly because she is better and she has those timings. So it works out well for her, and it's what I expect to see in most of these games. We're into game number 1 on Acropolis. Is the default first map. In the top left, as the pink Protoss, it is P7 Gab.
And in the bottom right, the red Zerg, it is QB, our reigning champion.
You do intros too fast.
I do? Oh no. I talk fast like normally in real life, so I actually do try and slow it down.
No, it's not the talking fast. It's the you're supposed to give it a moment to breathe because you're probably not watching my camera, but I do the little twist and show.
I try and do that too, and then I realize that it's not on my camera, so I stop doing it, and maybe it's just screwing with my rhythm.
Maybe. Anyways, it's just I have to like catch up. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So as far as the early game goes, QB does occasionally, I guess, throw out some pull first as well, but unless she was recently forged like Cannon Rushed or 2-rack, something like that, and Hatchery into pool is the way to go. She will see what is actually a fake, and she will not overreact to it.
Yeah, so this is kind of what I was talking about, is like if you're going to do this, faking it, just to try and make the Zerg player react and pull drones and lose mining time. But yeah, QB's just got the read on this. She's like, yeah, you're not going to cannon rush me, I'm going to pull back and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. It happened last time. It's as that second probe comes around the bend and your Overlord sees it, you're like, oh shit, you pull the drones.
Or the second building goes down, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I should deal with this.
But if they aren't going to send a second probe, I'm always like a little like, I can still deal with this, right?
Yeah.
And then I die because I'm not very good at dealing with cannon rushes. Anyways.
I'm not very good at executing cannon rushes, so it's fine.
Well, that's actually a part of my problem, is that I just legitimately do not know how to cannon rush. I tried once in Archon mode with Fear Dragon, and he got really mad at me.
Oh no.
It's the only time he's ever been able to like be disappointed in my StarCraft 2 play. So usually if you do something, you're kind of good against it because you know like what the pitfalls are, but
yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe I should just start cannon rushing a lot to get better at it.
That's my like when I like want to like relax and not play on stream a ton, I'll just like off race Protoss and like cannon rush and go mass disruptor, like just do really weird stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then you're really good against it.
I can't cannon rush. I just do it because it's fun to like get people to yell at me.
Yeah, I bet it is. So just play Protoss and do anything Protoss, really.
Yeah.
Do all things typical Protoss. Play like flipping like Showtime. It's like a very standard, like non-aggressive. You can't really hate the guy, and you'll still get hate.
Poor Showtime.
Yeah. Well, it's his fault for choosing their race. I don't know. That's all. So thank you, Robo26, for that Twitch Prime sub. We do have the Adept going across the map now as the probe comes back home. Nothing too cheeky on either side. Oracle opener from our Protoss, something that QB has not quite seen yet. Is that really a wall, by the way?
No, it's 100% not a wall.
Okay, I was gonna be like, this doesn't make any sense.
I think that she suspects that it is Stargate, though. She doesn't have spores at all. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, you can tell that based off the timing of Warp Gate starting on the core, but she might not have gotten there in time to exactly see that. She doesn't have spores anymore, so that's a little concerning.
And it is possible that the Protoss player like changes up the order of things, even though you usually get it later.
Yeah, she's seen it now, though.
Yeah. So he's gonna get the defense. Spore crawlers do build pretty quickly. They were actually buffed back in 2011. The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah, everyone thought the spine crawler would be, and it probably should have been, because that was back when 4-gate was super powerful. But I'm not salty about it. It's like I have all these remnant salt in like outbursts from when I was Zerg. It's all to do with 2011.
That was one of the things that when No Regret and Artosis were talking about all these immortal all-ins, one of the solutions are like, maybe just make the spine build a little bit faster. But I don't know, like it seems like it would mess with ZVZ too much. These oracles are getting some work done.
I don't really, I didn't hear that. I was listening to the Pylon show, at least the last one, where I control one of the hilarious rant against No Regret. But I didn't hear that portion. I don't think I really agree with it.
That was on In-Depth, not the Pylon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you said the Pylon show, but I guess I was just assuming.
I might have. That's a mistake I would make because I watch. Those are like the. Oh.
Okay. But it makes sense that it would be on the In-Depth show. Okay. Well, regardless, I don't like it that I don't agree with it. Doesn't really matter. Overseer gets in there for the follow-up scout and does see everything is normal. Again, what I would say is like going to be a follow-up of an Archon drop ends up being not so much. Or wait, no, the War Prism is out. Okay, cool. It is. Because like remember last time we were like, yeah, an Archon drop follow-up, and then she never did it. But this is what I was expecting. It is found. Oh no. I never actually considered that Archons could be recalled when they're morphing.
Yeah, it's pretty actually clever. Like I didn't know that either until very recently. Get the links on it and intercept this. Nope, you can recall morphing Archons.
Well, it makes sense. So I don't know why I didn't assume, but I've never seen it before. I guess the most pro gamers have their Chrono Boost still kind of down to a T this early on, right? So maybe they just don't have the energy for recall.
I think they also kind of just generally have like, this is my spot where I morph Archons and there's not a whole...
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're better at not having it found out and killed.
Yeah,
But whenever
sure.
they do, like the one time I saw like 6 months ago, it just died.
It's like new map problems, kind of. It's like, well, I'm not sure exactly where
true.
I should be morphing. Yeah, or my Archons.
That's true. So just come back with the War Prism. It does miss a little bit of a timing, but it's not like you're hitting any specific like anti+1 time or something like that. You are just trying to look for some harassment.
Archons are gonna get dropped in the main, but yeah, the roaches are right here. Nice little queen layout. Push that away. No, do not kill my drones, says QB.
Please no.
Leave my drones alone.
So we do have her at 56 drones, so not 50, but 56, solid number, on 3 bases. She might on a 4th because she starts just banking a lot of minerals. Her gas timings might have been a little messed up because that's an awful lot of minerals. But anyway, she is not going for an upgrade. She's not adding on a Baneling Nest or typical hooks or Hydralisk End. She is going for that Roach Ravager attack like I was talking about. So she just made sure she didn't have to build roaches a little bit sooner with all that scouting. And since she didn't have to, she's just doing the best build, the best version of the all-in that she can. Which
yeah, like the gases are a little weird here.
QB, like, what? There's something here.
Those roaches just get right in there though. Ooh.
Like, okay. I feel like P7 Gab was absolutely expecting it because 3 shield bags and 2 cannons. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot. But she had no army.
That's a lot of respect, yeah, and like she's getting some roaches up in the main as well. She had an army. Where did it go? There's 2 Archons and 2 Immortals.
Okay, the 2 Immortals, I guess, were maybe in the natural, and I missed that. But still, I thought she would have a little bit more. Now, QB maybe also a little, like, shocked at how not many army was there. She actually split, and as such, ends up getting cleaned up. That was really weird. That just did not look like P7 Gap had an army at all.
Yeah, there's a Spire follow-up here for QB2, which, again, like, I kind of conceptually like, but there's about to be a lot of, Archons here. Did she get Stormed? And I just missed it? Yeah, she did get Stormed. So, yeah, no, maybe Mutas make more sense. You can pick off some High Templars here and there. Maybe trigger some Immortal Shields.
Yeah. And again, like, if you're not in a position that you're immediately going to be attacked, and even if P7 Gap were to be like, hey, I just defended, let's go attack, which she is kind of setting up here, they still have to get across the map. They still have to warp in a little bit more. It's not a very big army quite yet. So I like the Spire timing right now, but I think it is going to be another situation where you have to defend first, then Spire. But if you can defend, the Spire would be quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little bit surprised that it's the Spire and not just, like, trying to squeeze that around there. Because, like, she's not got the hugest drone count in existence. Is it 60?
Yeah, 60. just recently bumped up a little bit more. She will get 3 mutas, which 3 mutas will be enough to try and backstab a war prison, something to pay attention to. But what about these storms? I mean, this army has now grown, all these charge outs added in. Actually, they run through the storm. Okay, well.
Not the best files either here.
Okay, like, if P7 Gab loses half of her army in one place and then only has High Templars, like, okay, that's when QB wins the fight.
Oh, those are some juicy storms,
There
though.
we go. There we go.
Solid force field, too.
Exactly. Like, she was actually missing the backup, though. Storms can kill a lot of units, but not quite Urge of the Ravagers, so you need something to actually punch them to death.
Just that image of a zealot running up and just being erosion.
I mean, they don't do punching, slicing, whatever. This is P7 Gab's game. Despite what looked to be like a very odd circumstance against the all-in, she held and was able to immediately counter. QB just had a very bad army, and that's the weakness I was talking about if her style of play does not work. She has no upgrade, she has no advanced tech, she doesn't have a super big reinforcement possibility because her economy's not that strong. And it played out exactly like that. But I want to say that QB was thrown off, though. Like, that did not feel like the strongest Roach Ravager all-in she could have done because of how awkward her gas was.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to be on, like, 5 gas to do that, and she was kind of only on 3 for a really long time.
I mean, certainly 4. I thought it was 5, too, but I'm not. I don't do the all-in there.
This is not a style that I play, so I'm not, like, intimately familiar with it.
But the nice thing is that we can just look at how much gas she had compared to the amount of minerals, and we're like, something wrong there.
One of these things is not like the others.
Without too much pushback from any GM in chat.
But what about all the Twitch chat GMs?
I don't know. So... but this kind of lines up what I've seen from these two when they face off against each other. So that wasn't the game I expected her to lose. It was kind of more of that middle of the road, you macro, I all in you, I guess, but still. As I said, she kind of lost either an all in or a late game. But still, the whole idea is she loses a game and then she's like, okay, shake off the rust here, and then like destroys P7 Gab afterwards. So is that gonna happen here again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised, but like I said earlier, I'm not terribly surprised that if P7 just has the read here, we might be okay. Or she might be able to pull the series out.
No.
We'll see. It's going to come down to what QB wants to do here in game 2.
She asked permission to go grab water. Dictate and be like, no.
That's some elementary school level stuff, like, teacher, can I go get a glass of water?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's this one, like, you know, stupid quote, but it actually made sense, where it's like, how do they expect us to choose, like, how do they expect us to choose a major to, like, determine the rest of our lives when they can't even trust us to, like, not raise our hand and go to the bathroom?
Oh, no. It's right, but you shouldn't say it.
Yeah, exactly. I assume QB's still ready. So next map's going to be Kairos Junction, QB's map choice. This is a best of 5, so one map is not too big of a deal yet.
This is a map where I like to really go for, like, really sharp all too, so this is probably a very good QB map.
Okay, yeah, but I think we do have to be careful about, or I have to be careful about, because I'm kind of like hyping up this style that she plays. She also is the only person who has consistently gotten this bug, which is very, very unlucky. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. Again, the style that QB plays is not the safest, just like best thing you can do. I think it's a strong thing to do to learn the game. But the other thing that it could be weak to is some of those all-ins from the Protoss that require you to stop droning at more like 44, right? Which is what QB was scouting for last game. But there are ways to trick a Zerg for certain. And I wonder if that's what we'll see from P7 Gab, who does tend to follow up the Stargate or Twilight Council, whatever build into a Robo build. In the top left, down 1, she is QB.
And in the bottom right, the pink Protoss. It is P7, aka longtime me. We're just gonna call her P7.
Yeah.
Changer of names. Haver of many faces.
Yes, totally. Annoyer to casters. Like, it's really not that big of a deal, but and you guys have been really chill about it too. But when you have chat that starts like saying like, why do you keep calling her this when she's this, and you're like, because that's when it gets really annoying.
At a certain point, I kind of wonder if it's to troll people.
You think?
Maybe. Because that's something I would do. I'd be like, you know what? I would just change my ID every 6 months just to screw with somebody. Just for the meme.
Maybe she's trying to not look so try-hard as to have a barcode, but like a little try-hard as to change up
Maybe
the name.
she's just a huge David Bowie fan and reinvents herself.
That's a good point. I know barely anything about the guy, but my friend was really into him for like 2 years, so I ended up like learning through proxy. I also was forced, and I will say forced, to watch that terrible movie Labyrinth. Why did you like that movie?
I don't know.
God, I don't understand. And like my friend's like a very like, you know, this isn't criticizing, because she's actually really cool, but she is like that intellectual type, I guess. And I just think Labyrinth is like the opposite of an intellectual music movie.
I love
like,
Muppet.
She'll try to like, you know, like support it by saying like, actually, this was a really cool thing that they did with like the Maddox, and David Bowie had this really cool thing where he trained for 20 hours to do this. And I'm just like, oh, I don't care. This is a dumbass movie.
I just like Muppets. I'm a simple girl. I like Muppets.
Okay. Well, I guess I was a really big fan of Muppets in general, so that's what I had against it. Also, the fact that there was a creepy 40-year-old man who stole like a baby and sang about it, and also had a crush on like a 16-year-old girl. Like, that's just me, though, I guess.
Yeah, no, that is weird.
So not a Robo this time. It is going to be just a Stargate again. Now it is a Phoenix first, and it is going to be more Phoenix. This is something that QB was able to see when her Ling died. You can see what's making that Stargate. But she would want to see the second Phoenix, because this could be Phoenix and Oracle, right? Which, oh, it is.
Okay, yeah. I do really like these double Stargate Phoenix styles against Zerg. Like, they feel so hard. Like, it's such an uphill battle to play against them. So you just, like, feel like you're trapped in your base.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not what we're going to get today. That's cool.
Not quite. Actually changing her mind about midway through that Phoenix. Yeah, either she, like, kind of like a habit hit X again, or did change her mind. I'm not sure which, but she had to notice, and that was a bit of an awkward timing. But the Oracle still provides what it is most used for, which is scouting, no matter when it comes out. And then a follow-up into the Robo and the Twilight Council, what I assume is a very similar game to last game.
Yeah, this is like just the super standard Protoss opening for Zerg, which is quite nice. You know, you get your Archon drops, try and get some damage done. You really keep the creep checked in, too, if you have an Observer with it. Like, Zerg basically doesn't get creep.
Mm-hmm. It's always a nice addition to see. I was like a little concerned maybe she would change things up and go for an all-in, but we don't. You know, she didn't take guys out of gas or anything, which the Overlord would have maybe wanted to see, but it was taken down by the Phoenix. Because that is the one change-up right now, is that there's a Phoenix, so QB might just be like, whatever. But she also could be like, oh, if that's trying to hide something, I need to be really on top of things.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not trying to hide really anything.
It's just shy. It's a shy Phoenix. I want you to come take a look.
Very odd number of roaches on the map right now. I don't know what that's about. But QB is once again going for a Roach Ravager all in. Now this one is going to be faster than the last one, which is on 55 drones. This is actually sub 50 even. But it might just work out even better. There's so few units from our Protoss that I am pretty sure she skipped production on Immortals. She just messed up her macro. I can
She
say
has
that
an
because of
Immortal
our
in the
pros.
queue. But yeah, she's a little supply block there, so
Exactly.
she is trying to get one.
So the last game again was kind of like a, okay, does this just work? And I feel like if you're gonna hit a little bit faster, if you're not gonna have such a wonky imbalance of the gas and the money, then yeah, maybe Protoss could be in a bit of trouble. The Archon should be already a little suspicious. Where are the queens? Where are the roaches? Where are the drones? You see some respond now, but from a very odd direction.
Oh, they're in your base, killing your dudes. That Adept is going down there. Like, yeah, these roaches just get the wall down. They're gonna get the Sentry before it can even finish to get the Force Field. That's a nice little pickup. And I think we can depower these 2 gateways here as QB.
Not really microing into Zealots. I think that would be worth it. We're talking about a relatively few roaches, right? So every roach counts, but here comes the Immortal. And with the Archons, that's going to be what's really difficult to break through. No depowering of the gates, but does grab this Hammond X core. Decides just back off after that. Usually, I would say the goal of most attacks around this time are to kill third bases. If they have
I'd
one,
agree.
I suppose, but...
and she knows that there is one. Got the roaches up there attacking. I'm kind of surprised that she's trying to third.
Yeah.
Really force a big fight.
Because the natural is... This is usually the problem with, like... Protoss have always been able to defend on 2 bases. It's always kind of laughable to try and kill a Protoss on 2 bases back on Wings of Liberty, because they just sit there and last forever. But the third base is a little more complicated, so that's usually the grab. That's usually what really starts to give them the tough choice to make. Do I defend the third, or do I give it up and maybe live another day? So we started to see that a little bit, and it looks like she has made the decision to just give it up and live to fight another day.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, she's still got to find a way to power out of it. I'm gonna tech Storm with adding on a bunch of gateways, so we'll see. This is still spooky though, for sure. Like, this is gonna be a hard push. There's only 3 Immortals, a couple Archons who can't get out of this wall without the... It's gonna just be juggling, I think, to hold this.
Yeah, absolutely. Those force fields are... I mean, there's something, but there's not enough of them.
Yeah, and a bio went down on that Archon, so that's already a pretty big pickup.
Yeah.
Here, QB.
This is, again, the type of army that if you're really good at juggling, you can absolutely take down, especially when the Lings start to disappear. You're up against just roaches. That's when Immortal juggling is the absolute best. But as far as actually making your way out of your base, making your way downtown to actually kill the Zerg player, that's when it gets really tricky. Because any warpings you have inevitably go a little farther than your juggling, and you start to lose units, just like what we saw there, you start to bleed off. So already bleeding off sentries, already bleeding off zealots. She still has...
she's gonna catch all these High Templars. Oh no, okay, gonna
are you serious? Why were they built over there? I wasn't even paying attention to the third anymore. Well, that's a disaster.
Oh no. Not like this.
I was gonna say she has a chance to do a follow-up all in and hope to God that it works, but losing 5 High Templars? That...
Yeah, I think even then you need Storm direct from Thor to actually try and pull this out.
Yeah.
But yeah, with losing the High Templars, it's rough.
Yeah.
And Kiwi's been squeaking out drones.
With Captain America backing it up too.
Yeah. You gotta get the Wombo combo.
Oh, these Lings provide just a little bit of a headache. They don't get very much, but the 5 Zealots are here, not with the army. You get to live, good sir. Good Ling. Okay. Can't you just pull the probe. Just pull the probes. Alright, well. All about the front here.
Zerglings are just sharp puppies.
Oh, War Prism dies, and so does Protoss. Goodbye.
Yeah, forcing all these Archons to morph too. Yeet! Get out of the video game. All those biles, raining right on that one arm. And the Lings make it into, there was not even a wall. There's nothing in pole position.
Well, they derp out pretty hard, but yeah.
They're trying their best.
What are you doing? Trying. Curse of Vials once again hitting something when they just honestly never should. This is, like, P7 Gap keeps seeing this army that is very beatable with the army she has, but it's actually false at this point. There's a lot more backing this up. QB seems to have a bit of a larva problem. She is banking a ton. And she's trying to get into Swarm Hosts, which I don't think is really necessary, but anything will do the trick at this point, so.
I don't hate the Swarm Host choice. Like, if you know that they're going to be on Archon charge lot, I think this is one of the areas where it does shine. You just have to, like, find the angle.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, halfsies. Halfies. You go halfies. Thank you for that Twitch Prime sub.
Yeah, QB firing up a Hive and Aspire too, but she's kind of a little count do that.
It's a little ambitious on 59 drones and not quite 4 paces. But alright, you do you.
Well, E7's got storms banked up again, so maybe she can make something work here. She doesn't have a ton. Oh no, 2 ships passing the night? Okay. Walking on a creep. Giving up the ghost. We know where the Protoss army is.
Yes, we do, and it's gonna die. Some pretty good force fields actually almost get the full trap, followed by some pretty good storms. Actually, more storms coming down as they try and go through that choke that's still there because of the force fields. Damn it, disappear already. But the locusts are now coming through, and she has to simply run away from that, which she is actually not doing a bad job of.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm still so heavily in favor of the Zerg.
She managed to get away from the locust. She managed to, like, wedge herself into this okay area, but a lot of the supply for the Zerg is still
Oh my god. Oh my god,
is still in Stormhouse.
If that war person didn't die, I think she wins. But without reinforcements, I think the reinforcements of QB win. But damn, this is so much closer than it really should have been.
Yeah, it's just it's so much of this is in Stormhouse, and another wave of locusts. Definitely QB safe here. But this was closer than it should have been.
Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, it's also going to give P7 Gab another, like, bit of hope, I guess. So she's going to maybe try and do another follow-up volley. But it's like... She's not... She is dead. I mean, she's mined out of the main and the natural. It's just... After that fight went that way, you got to try again.
Yeah, I don't think you want to... Especially when it's in a series, you don't want to throw in the towel this quickly. But it's, yeah. She doesn't have, like, her army is basically zealots.
Yeah, which, you know, they got a lot of swipes in. I mean, so much of the fight was really the storms and those force fields, absolutely, but the zealots got their last swipes in. They did some work there. The issue also was that they, even without force fields, there was some, I guess, SimCity a little bit problems where they actually did find roaches kind of backed up against something. But that's usually not a dependable army, so you gotta add in those Archons. And ideally, you still have the Immortals alive, but only down to 1. Very weak.
We're getting a Greater Spire at 55 drones. Okay. That's a big Locust volley over the cliff, though. Oof, that's spooky.
Just run away and come back once they're gone. It's the plan here. It's the only plan she has. And it's not a bad plan. But even without the swarm host involved, that army supply should still be around like maybe 70, right, for the Zerg, which should be enough to deal. And Broodlords are on the way.
And yeah, sorry whoever in the chat says that. I guess my internet's being spotty again. It's been a little weird this week. That's nothing I can really do, unfortunately.
Yeah, we get the gist of what you're saying.
Yay, gists.
Yeah. Here comes a little bit of that kiting into the zealots. The roaches are kind of stacking themselves up there, but the Archons see a pretty light called a Hell Muffin, and they're like, oh, go over there. And they died all the locusts. Why doesn't Zerg have one of those units that's like that fish, the anglerfish or whatever?
Oh, because that would be so cool.
That would be. Just like, look at the pretty lights, and then boom, it's like a bunch of lurkers.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like playing a tank character in a MOBA, where it's kind of relying on your opponent. Like, they have to know better, but maybe, like, I don't know. Maybe if it had some ability that was like an actual taunt that made stuff go to it.
Even a stupidly high threat, like, rating, right, would be good for it, GG. Like the auto turret. So it deals like literally like half a damage. Like it's even weaker than the sentry, but every unit goes to it because its threat is really high.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. I don't know. It feels like it would cause a lot of weird AI bugs or something, like just with pathing. Like you could, what if we just throw one of those out in the middle of the map and like drag their push off to the side?
That'd be amazing.
That would be fun.
That sounds nothing like but an increase in skill ceiling, if you ask me. Okay, so that was a bit longer than I expected. I certainly didn't expect that game to end with Broodlords, and I still kind of question that decision. It was a little bit of why she almost lost in that one fight, but she does take the victory there. So it's 1-1.
now I want an anglerfish. Like, I've immediately sold myself on why this, but it sounds like so much fun.
I think it does. The Zerg units really aren't based a lot around ocean units.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Leviathan brood skins too.
Well, we have the skins now, but
Yeah.
you know, you literally are told what their units are based off of. So mutas are bats from like a bat world.
Oh, are you? I don't pay a ton of attention to the, so that's news to me.
Oh yeah, totally. They like they have spires on their home world, and they're actually like relatively peaceful, and they're giant. And then the Zerg was like, wow, they look really awesome, and so they also had the glaive worms were like symbiotic, not symbiotic, yeah, symbiotic, the one that benefits both people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like cleaners or whatever, just like, you know, like a lot of animals actually, like even on Earth. And they're like, we know what to do with that, and they changed them into what they are now. So,
I mean, to be fair, a muta in real life would be so scary. Can you imagine giant bat things swooping at you and just like, here, I'm gonna throw worm babies at you?
well, the thing for me is that they always look like a booger. So I just be like kind of like freaked out. There's like a giant booger chasing me with wings. So I don't know about the glaive worm. The glaive worm was also really creepy because for the longest time, I just refused to believe that they were actually like a living thing. Like someone told me that, and I was like, no, that's super stupid. But they are, and that's why they can bounce. I thought they were just like, you know, elaborate boomerangs.
I mean, that's what they are in Warcraft.
There you go. But they're actually living things. So that would also be kind of freaky, but just giant boogers chasing me. I don't know. All tied up in the top left as the pink Protoss. She is P7 Gab.
And in the bottom right, the red Zerg.
Oh my god!
I'm so sorry.
No, you just missed it. Look back at the Protoss base.
Oh?
She recalled 3 of her probes.
What? What? Can we remake? No.
Go ahead and do the bottom right.
Oh my goodness.
You can do the intro now.
In the bottom right, the red Zerg gets QB. Oh my goodness.
So I know this might seem like initially kind of cruel, but that is literally something you have to live with. It's a competitive game. You cancel your CC on the low ground, I'm not going to give you a regame. You misplace your hatchery.
Yeah, Friska.
Friska, exactly. I'm not going to give you a regame. So I guess it's better to ask, right? But no.
You miss every shot you don't take or something.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty bad. That's a chrono boost gone. That was 2, if not 3 probes not mining for an extended period of time. This is pretty bad.
Oh man. That's one that's gonna be like the salt stories for 100 years. It's like, I hit the wrong button and I recalled and chrono boosted.
I've never seen that. I mean, everyone's seen the whole like accidental box click and, you know, go to one mineral patch, but I've never seen a recall. Because like, what are you pressing? Recalls R and chrono boost is C.
So I play on grid because I have like tiny hands,
okay.
and they're right next to each other on grid. So it's like it's a thing that I can totally.
Oh, well there you go. Maybe she is playing on grid. That really sucks. All right. Well, that does mess up her beginning build, so if there was like an early pull, that would have been catastrophic, I think. If your gateway's a little bit later, so your SMX score's a little bit later, so you don't get the chrono boost appropriately on the Lings stacking your pylon, like it could have been game over in a very extreme situation. But QB was not going for a 12 pull, so we're all good.
Yeah, I mean she's okay. No, she's just fanning out links to check around. Just say like this could be Neeb so bad, right here. Just get on this pylon and kill it, and it's like okay, GG. 2-minute game.
Oh,
Gets that probe. It's a nice little pickup.
yeah.
Delays the third a little bit, not too much though.
She's going for the robo opener. So I guess eventually is kind of the thing. She eventually goes in the robo openers because she didn't do it on King's Cove last time, so it's not a map thing. Just a pacing of the series, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know like if there's a planning process here of like, you know what, all right, do these sequence, and I mean, it's also probably like easy to just if you chrono boost your or not chrono boost, recall your probes on accident. Like just like you want a mac and cheese, you want a comfy build, you want like a something safe.
I get you. Yeah. The very fast forage is a bit of a surprise, but not. I've definitely seen a build like this, but a very fast +1 with what ends up being an attack. It could still be like in. I think that's actually what she's going for. Still no gases. Gonna put on a 4-minute mark. So if we were to see some extra tech, we'd see gases at least by now, I would assume. That is just 3 extra gateways. So this kind of looks, especially if you can't see the gases with the Overlord, which you can't if you don't move it. This can look maybe like a Archon drop, but it's one of those things where like the robo attack is so popular, you're never making that misconception anymore as a Zerg, and the Overlord literally gets in to see everything. But the Forge is going to be a bit of a wonky, like, okay, so what does this actually mean for the attack timing?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking at this from Keep side, you'd have expecting some kind of immortal push. Probably sentries. There's like 1 sentry already. This is like just the gas timings. You're right. The gas timings are kind of weird.
Yeah, 430 is kind of the latest I think that a Protoss like gets in any of their builds and end up going into like any type of macro game. But with the Mortal Sentry, you also have 4 gases for that as well. And she is going to saturate them, so no fake shenanigans here. It's just that even though Forge and an upgrade kind of like a lot of times signifies a later game, right? Because you have to wait for an upgrade to finish to make it useful. There definitely are some builds that just have that +1 kind of snuck in right there.
Oh, this is Stats did this. I know this now.
Okay.
These 4 stalkers with the +1. He gets this because like even if you lose the stalker, you can like clean up this creep really easily. He did this build. I don't remember the purpose of it exactly, but this is a stats build.
But is this the one that goes into a 3rd base, or is it one that goes into the all-in?
I think you could go either way off it.
I thought so as well, but I also, again, don't do this build, so. Going into Archons, this is not just now a problem that I can kind of like be like, I'm a great caster, trust me. No, like I'll straight up like acknowledge I don't know all the Protoss builds, but it's also what is making the Zerg defenses complicated, because what could be a Warp Prism with Immortals could also be with Stalkers, or even Charge Lots. There's a build that goes for very fast Charge Lots but doesn't actually go for an all-in. Or could it be a 3rd base, or is it just like you literally get the whole, you grab everything in the same bag and still do the 2 base all in?
Oh,
this is actually the 3rd.
She was trying to bile and hit the Warp Prism, but she did get the Overseer, so. And yeah, like this number of Ravagers, this like I'm gonna super respect the Warp Prism.
Yeah, which should.
Any potential.
I mean, the entire time we were talking about what the Protoss was doing, QB was doing what we expected from her, which she's been doing all the games here. So either it's like 45 to 55 drones, somewhere in there, and then attacking with it. So one of the faster ones, a little bit, again, a lot more lings as well. She decided to go for the attack, sees that there's no 3rd Nexus. It was canceled, actually. She sees the intention of a 3rd Nexus, and will still be doing the attack, I believe, but she pulls her entire army back, I guess fearful of the Warp Prism, which she hasn't seen.
Yeah, the Warp Prism. No, she saw the Warp Prism go back into the natural. So
Yeah.
she kind of at least has a loose intuition. It's on her opponent's side of the map.
Okay. Well, now she might just be drawing into herself because she has seen no 3rd, right? So we know it was canceled. She didn't quite see that, I don't think. And the probe going for it could have been either a fake or one that you don't probe up, right? It just, you slap it down in case there's a macro game. And, well, what has happened? Like, P7 Gab is actually going to go for the 2 base all in with +2, no 3rd base, walling off her wall completely, and QB's going to be the one defending.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's going to get the Cybercore for her troubles. She's just going to run away. I always like picking, I'm like super greedy about picking off the Cybercore just because it feels so good as a Zerg player. It's like, yeah, you can't make Stalkers anymore. Good job, nerd.
Yeah, or Sentries, which is what a Sentry really depends on. Which, by the way, P7 Gab missing warping, I think, production around there. There we go. Since she, well, first, I don't think she was necessarily planning on all-inning, so we have gateways kind of oddly timed, but she is going up to 7 now. And then she also had the Warp Prism back at home, where the army was in the middle of the map.
This is just a huge supply lead, too, here for QB. So, like, any push that P7's going to try and do into is going to be I think not the greatest. Like, there are some Archons here, so it's not the... It's gonna come down to, can the Lings get engaged on them?
I really feel like, yeah, P7 Gap must have been planning on going for a Nexus. Everything about her current bank says that, like, this could have afforded a Nexus, even though you don't make probes. So now she's going completely all in, right? No Nexus to even try and make a macro game out of this. She's better hope it goes well. Is attacking on creep out in the open with, I would say, still what is limited force fields.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bios going down on the army. Flip and Archon and some of those up. And yeah, the force fields just aren't here. Zerg, I think, has this clean up easy peasy.
It's such a cruel position to go into on King's Cove, actually, because the force fields did something. They actually weren't useless. It's just that they weren't the comical amount that we might see in some other situations. They did segment some of the armor.
Every time I play this map, every time I attack, I feel wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like I want everybody to break them.
Exactly. So that was always going to be a tough position to move in, but her army was good. And QB did make a couple of, I want to say a couple of mistakes, but more like I think there could have been more finesse to kind of baiting out some force fields or retreating with Course of Battles and the force fields instead of trying to hit the army type deal, right? But either way, she just had a decent enough economy. She had transitioned into Hydras and got range as quick as possible. So speed's only just now finishing up, but that does help reach over those force fields. This skin, by the way, is insane. I haven't ever seen this before.
On which unit?
The Hydra?
This is, I think, the Leviathan one. I don't like it because I don't like the weird headpiece it has.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't like it. Okay. Well, the lack of roaches now does create that scary possibility that the charge lot numbers actually overwhelm here. Because that's what she lost in the initial defense, was the roaches and the ravagers, only down to 2 right now. I'm trying to remake those roaches as I'm speaking, which apparently she'll get the time to, but we're still talking about 3 Immortals and 4 Archons, which can bust through that. And the charge is still alive after that with their +2. Don't forget, a huge upgrade discrepancy. Then the Hydras should be scared of this.
Yeah, and getting the cancel in the 4th here, like, QB's gonna have real larva issues. She's probably able to, but if she can't get counterattack damage done as well, she's gonna have like some actual economy issues.
Yeah. This was not the best, I think, from P7 Gap. So she kind of positioned herself to go after the 3rd base, but that means that the army now takes an overwhelming victory instead of what it could have been, I think, a very close victory, or maybe even defeat, honestly. But yeah, talking herself in a corner, 3rd base being a priority for the attack right there, that just was not going to look pretty for the actual.
Yeah, the War Prism was just a little too far forward too, and it got sniped off behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of an odd game. The opener, as you were trying to point out, like the stats did, it's actually annoying harassment because disregarding whatever follows it up, whatever it could have been, whether it was supposed to be a 2-base all-in or it was supposed to be a 3rd Nexus. I'm going on the side it was supposed to be a 3rd Nexus. But
yeah,
is that
I'm
go ahead.
Inclined to agree with you that it's supposed to be a 3rd Nexus.
Yeah. But the Stalker is actually against someone who is like shown to go for early roaches and not really like a big Ling user. Oops. Like 4 Stalkers actually take out small numbers of roaches. It's really annoying when you're like, this will protect me from anything, and then Stalkers kill 6 roaches and you're like, whoa, no, please no. Oh my god, she chooses turbo.
Okay.
No.
Well, is this like I'm just gonna cannon you on this weird? Because I feel like turbo actually might be an okay.
No way. Because even if you avoid the middle, it's such a long distance, isn't it?
It's more that the way the bases are configured.
No, I get that, but it's one of those, like, it's like a math equation, right? It's like, how long does it take to get to the natural over how good are the cannons in position?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. That map is so weird for me to evaluate.
Okay. She thought maybe going into 10 Thunder, but no, she sticks on turbo. It's weird, man. I like the Hydra reindeer, the Hydra deer.
I'm curious if she has something in mind for this map, or if she's just picking it to pick it and be a little weird.
I could not tell you, man. Like, this is such a weird map. And all things pointed to the map designers making this a macro map. They just wanted something more interesting than like, hey, it takes a long time and you have a safe third base.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like the Team Liquid map contest having like we made a new gimmick thing. We're gonna make you design maps in this category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
It's good that they're experimenting.
That's the thing, is that they're trying to make sure we don't have just Daybreak for 7 games and 7 seasons. But
yeah, sometimes they're a little too weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention, honestly, to the developments of the maps to try and sit here and like be on a high horse and say they should change things. Because actually, like, I recall that, you know, the requirement is actually like maybe like only one weird thing, right? So they're not like forcing you to be, you know, I don't know, super, super, super weird. But anyways, in the top right, she's up 2-1, so she's one more game to win this Banshee tournament. It is QB.
And in the bottom left, the pink Protoss, it is P7, playing under the ID Longtime Me.
Which, I got the P7 Gab reference, Zest's old name, which translated in Korean is really cool, but I don't know what Longtime Me is.
Maybe? No, I was going to say Full Metal Jacket, but that's still not the quote from Full Metal Jacket, so what do I know?
I don't know. I never even watched Full Metal Jacket.
The line from Full Metal Jacket is "Me love you long."
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, my favorite movie line has got to be like "Ling Ling, you forgot your bling bling," but I mean that's a classic right there. Which I still think should be a bumper sticker. Make sure to get your bling bling with your ling lings. Anyways, you kind of saw watching the probe go through the middle of the map what we were talking about. If you haven't seen the map before and you're just like, what the hell are you guys still talking about? Normal, main, and natural. Not really much to say there, I guess. But then you have inhibitor zones, or whatever they're called. So this reduces only movement, but it does stack. So it's like absurd when like a time warp, and not that people time warp in this game anymore, but still. Or like queens are off creep or something. Like just it's kind of absurd in general. You basically avoid the map. Fungals, also. There we go. Yeah, fungals, exactly. That's the thing that everyone wanted to test. But you avoid the middle of the map. And I think the whole goal for the map designer was like, okay, people will avoid it, and then just when they think they're safe, they're gonna get attacked by it. But in my very limited experience, to be fair, it's still not worth going through, even if it is a surprise attack. It's a surprise attack when it hits the beginning of the inhibitor zone, and then 30 seconds later, it gets to the actual attacking position, and it's just not good at that point. They're really, really big zones.
And I did test it because I think Fear Dragon asked if the field slowed like Adept Shades and Disruptor Balls, and they do in fact slow both of them. So you can't even like try and cheatsy doodle through it.
There you go. I don't know. We're gonna see this map played out occasionally, but it is certainly gonna be one of the ones not chosen. You know, vetoed a whole ton. It was vetoed, I think, in like every game in GSL yesterday. And otherwise, so we do have a robo opener, which is scouted, by the way. Bad news for Protoss. The thing I was talking about, kind of like theoretically, but now I can show you and not just sound weird, is that yes, the inhibitor zones are the biggest thing about this map, and having to go like around town and everything. There's even one over here. I didn't even notice, to be honest. Anyways, is that you have positions that are like really abused by siege units, which is really annoying for Terrans, which we don't have, and as such won't be a problem. But the flow of this map, the way that your army moves around it, is just really silly. And I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm a bit weirded out too. And I feel like if you ever step into these inhibitor zones against a Protoss player, you just have to like have Storm foremost in your mind. You have to have that fear in your heart.
Yeah. It's just really not something you're supposed to go through. And it's not clever enough to be like, that's exactly when it's useful. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it feels like almost maybe a little overtuned. I don't know, like it's an interesting idea, but maybe too slow. I don't know if dialing it down a little bit would help it or not. But
I would be a fan of either. So I think a choke would do the same thing. Would do the same like. It wouldn't slow down a scout, I guess, but I still think it would have the same result of like we shouldn't go through here. But then I also wouldn't mind if they just reduce the size of the zone. But we won't see any adaptations to the map until a pro gamer really complains.
Yeah. And I suspect that we'll just see this vetoed forever instead of having complaints. I mean, like, this is going to be, I think, the best of 7 map, right?
Yes, yeah, 7th map. Good old Secret Springs. Alright, so change up build, no fast forge, but rather going in the Robo and Twilight Council, but not Templar Archives, going into the Dark Shrine, which is not scouted by QB. And she might not be too on guard against this because it's been 4 games. She hasn't seen it. Well, 3 games. This is the 4th. But she has a Spore Crawler. She has 2 Spore Crawlers, actually. So she may have been doing this every single game and just haven't noticed. But she has detection.
Yeah, they're a little bit late for the normal timing because, like, I think line throwing down at 3:30. But she does have detection, and this is a build that Pig does a lot. At least I think. I don't normally think it has the Immortals with it. But you just get the Dark Templars out, you try and snipe the 3rd as quickly as possible. But the Zerg way behind.
Yeah. I think QB was because she got a scout in the Robo, there's no other reason for her to put on Score Crawlers other than, like, you know what, she could go for a Dark Shrine. So I think she's absolutely thinking about that possibility. She also has gone for, like, tiny, like, little bit faster layers, I think, every game. Like, not 4 minutes or other 3:40 or something like that. So she's had some decent Overseer timings, especially against the, like, Stargate Firsts. Not that this was a Stargate First one. But the Dark Shrine is actually been canceled and remade. Wait, what? Well, you don't need 2 Dark Shrines, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about whenever I watch P7 play, where I'm like, everything is almost there, but then there's like 1 or 2 little tiny detail mistakes that really throw a game.
Yeah. Yeah, we both agreed that was the case, and I think your point's still the best, though, is that she's probably just getting really tired.
Yeah.
And more off, more tilted as the games go as well. So the attack still comes to the middle of the map. Could be very bold doing that. Did they get here?
They're gonna get a surround on most of these adepts and some of the sentries. Like, the force fields aren't quite there.
Just forgot she built a Dark Shrine. There's no Overseer. She could literally hold this with Dark Templar.
Oh no. Well, this is getting weird quickly. I'm gonna try and juggle those Immortals though and try and survive. I don't know if it's gonna be quite enough.
The second one finishes and she still isn't producing any. Oh god.
I'm just befuddled at this point.
Oh, there we go. There it is. So QB will be forced to retreat temporarily because she did not make an immediate Overseer. I don't blame her. She, like, protected herself against the common DT timing with the Spore Crawlers, and then what's this DT timing? The second Dark Shrine timing, that's what it is. But she will be producing one, and she still will win this game.
Win behind Dark Shrine. Ergo, mathematically, double Dark Shrine must be twice as good when you're twice as behind.
Yeah, you're the mathematician here. I trust you. The roaches have been just destroying the natural this entire time. I don't think P7 Gab notices. She's too busy trying to micro here. And the DT's only bought her a certain amount of time, so QB will once again continue the whole lose 1 game to P7 Gab, win the next 3. We'll be winning this tournament.
Continued reign of dominance. I do think that this is winnable though for P. She just gotta adjust some knobs and come back and try again.
Yeah. Well, it really is about tightening things up and not letting either the lost games get to her or letting the time of day get to her.
Yeah.
It's cruel. Also, internet. She has actually a ton of things that just seem to always be able to throw her off. Maybe I'm making excuses for her and she, like, just thinks that she's worse, but...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. She does not reside in a world where BD Internet is particular renown, though, so...
Yeah.
I'm inclined to believe that one.
Oh, sure. But she also might just be like, nah, I'm just a worse player. Stop making excuses for me. And I'd be like, okay, all right.
Okay, yeah.
But you do have all these things going against you. Just don't have
For sure.
GG. QB takes a 3-1 and will be our Banshee tournament number 20.